Hey everyone, we're back. I'm Flora with florasage.com, and this is a live episode of Ask Flora. Now this week's question comes from Amber, and she writes, Flora, I'm already feeling bogged down and it's only the first week in January. Help! Amber from Cincinnati. Okay, Amber. I decided to answer your question here on Facebook because so many people on Facebook are going through the exact same thing that you are. I've been getting so many emails this week, and since I got back from vacation, on where to start, where to even begin to start on New Year's resolutions, or even just starting in 2016 with a clean slate. And so my number one piece of advice for anybody out there who already feels overwhelmed is to clean up your messes from last year. So what do I mean by clean up your messes from last year? Read the books that you've been wanting to read. Make that conversation or that phone call that you've been wanting to make. Finish the projects that you've been wanting to finish. And some people are like, well, I don't even know how to bring all this stuff together to figure out what exactly I need to finish. So make a list of all the things that are really bogging you down, all the things that you are thinking about doing, or thinking about, well, this is what I wanted to do last year, but I didn't get it done, so I don't even know if I should put that on my list for this year. Well, first of all, and this is a practice that I've been teaching a lot, and it's called doing a brain dump. And I first learned this, I think it's from David Allen, from Getting Stuff Done, or Getting Things Done, from that book. But even before that, I actually saw my dad do it many, many times. And how to do a brain dump is you just sit down and you just dump everything out on paper, anything and everything that you're frustrated about, that you're worried about, that you're concerned about. And what happens is when you get it all out on paper, then you really can start from a clean slate. So from there, figure out what projects you really still resonate with and that you really want to get finished, and then the things that you don't want to get done, just scrap. And I know that sometimes this can sound a little bit overwhelming just to do this. If that brain dump method feels too cumbersome for you, then don't do it. What I do when I feel overwhelmed is I look at my surroundings. I look at my house and I clean up. What I do is I do like a 10 to 15 minute quick clean. I'll clean the kitchen first, and then I'll straighten the pillows on my couch and sweep or vacuum or dust. And then if something still bothers me, if I'm still feeling overwhelmed, then I'll usually clean out a closet or clean out a cupboard or clean something out. And then I'll look at, okay, so what projects am I procrastinating on, or have I started last year or a month ago or a week ago that I really just don't energetically feel like I want to or need to finish right now. And if I really don't want to do it, then I shelve it. I put it on the shelf and I wait for later. I don't put that time pressure on myself. And many times when we start a brand new year, we think that we're going to change our habits and we think that we're going to change overnight. Well, you know what? It doesn't happen. In reality, it never happens. And my advice for you is, if you really want to make a big change this year, do it one tiny, tiny, tiny step at a time. One of the things that I always talk about in my What's Up Wednesday calls and inside the Inner Circle, which is my membership site, is I talk about making tiny, tiny shifts. And those tiny shifts are the ones that lead to those big quantum shifts. And I also liken it to climbing Mount Everest. We don't climb Mount Everest overnight. We do it one tiny foothill at a time. And so each day, take one tiny step towards your goal. If one of your goals is to completely clean out your house and do a spring cleaning of your house, well, don't do it all in one day. Do one drawer or one room or one section of a room at a time. And then when you feel that you're done with that, then move on to the next room or to the next project or to the next thing. And that way, that slow and steady will win the race, I promise you. But try not to tackle everything all at once. But another thing that I would highly recommend that you do is to get the book called Clearing Your Clutter with Feng Shui. Now, this is a book that I have recommended to people forever because it's so fabulous. It's a very short read. It's a very quick read. It's by Karen Kingston. And it gives you a methodology of Feng Shui that is short, sweet, to the point, super, super simple. there's so many different houses or schools of feng shui that are really confusing, and it's like, what the hell? There was actually one time where I read this book and it said if you have a tree in front of your front door, you need to move. I'm like, really? Why don't you just cut the tree down? But anyway, so Karen Kingston's method of clutter clearing with feng shui is super easy, simple way to clear your space. And so why do I recommend clearing your space to start the new year fresh? Because many times when we want to start fresh, we still have old stagnant energy lurking about in our space. Everything that we have, like this glass, let's just say it's a Guinness glass, I've got lemonade in it. Yay! This glass holds energy from where I actually got this at Goodwill. I got a set of 2 of them at Goodwill, but who owned them before and what was the dynamic in their home? And so anytime I buy anything, I always clear it, and then I'm frequently space clearing my home. But anything that we have has an energetic resonance. And so if you want to go into a year fresh, I would recommend space clearing your home, then looking at and feeling the energy that's present, and then start to clear through your energetic messes as well as your literal messes before you move on to anything new for this year. So I know that I kind of went on and on. So let me look at, can I scroll through? Oh, sweet, I can scroll through the comments. So I'm going to scroll through the comments real quick and see if there's any other questions for you all or about this particular for this particular topic. What can you do to let go of the loss of your dog, Sophie? Oh, she was just hit by a vehicle on January 1st, having trouble dealing with it. One of the things that I would recommend that you do is just be in her energy and just, you know, if you've got a picture of her, just sit with it and just try to reminisce and really just feel out all the good times that you've had with this animal and this creature. And then also, and sometimes people, it just depends on how long their grieving process is, but one of the things that really helps with that is to just call in that animal energy and to just ask them, please stay with me for a little bit and please be with me. And you'll many times start to feel them maybe brush against your leg or your cheek or your arm, and you'll start to feel their energy with you. And many times that will help with the grieving process. So, but I would recommend that you not move on quicker than you need to, because, well, anybody, you know, losing anybody is hard in and of itself. But give yourself permission to own this process of remembrance and grieving, and do it in your time and in your way, and honor that time and try not to rush through it, because I know a lot of people, they try to rush through the process because they just want to get on to living and all this other stuff, but it's overrated. Just stay in the grief and honor it, and just be really fully present with that energy and the gratitude that you were able to spend, or the energy of gratitude that you were able to spend with with your dog. So I hope that helps a little bit. Let me see if there's any other questions. Some of these are for another episode. So for this episode, we're talking about how you can start fresh in the new year. Let me see. Space clearing with sage. Okay, so I have a whole class on space clearing. It's called Space Clearing for You. You can use sage, like the actual smoke sage. You can use sprays. Hold on one moment. I actually was space clearing earlier today and was using my bell. I normally do not touch my bell because of the oils on my hand. So if you're using headphones, please take them out because this is going to be loud. So I usually space clear with my bell. And then another thing that I use is my spray. Now this has lavender, lemongrass, and sage. Now even though I love smoke, I only usually use smoke outside. And I usually use essential oil sprays inside because to me they're energetically lighter. To me, sage smoke, sweetgrass smoke, any type of like literal smoke feels energetically heavy and dense to me. The only time I usually use any type of incense or smokes in the house is when I'm connecting to my ancestor energy, which ironically I've been burning incense for just about a minute or so at a time in my home to really call forth and bring in and anchor in ancestor energy over the last couple weeks. So that's what I would recommend. I mean, yeah, you can absolutely do space clearing with sage. Figure out the best or the way that feels the best for you. You can use sound, you can use essential oil sprays. I have a book called Flora's Fragrances that has all kinds of fabulous recipes for this. I have a class for download called Space Clearing for You. It's on florasage.com. Click on the shop link and you'll see it in classes. But yeah, you can absolutely do that. Let me see if there's... How do you cleanse objects? You can wash them if they're not water soluble, because otherwise you're going to ruin them. You can cleanse them in sunlight and moonlight. You can cleanse them with just intention. You can wave them over a candle. I mean, it really just depends on how or what level of cleansing that you feel that you want to have or need for that particular object. Some objects I just get rid of because I'm like, there's no amount of cleansing that will get this thing clean energetically. It just depends on who gave it to me or whatever, but you know, really use your intuition when it comes to what type of cleansing that you can use. But yeah, you can absolutely wash. You can use sound. Sound's fabulous, fabulous. Let me see. Do I cleanse items before I bring them in my house? Yes, yes, and yes. Absolutely. I cleanse them as I'm purchasing them. I cleanse them before I bring them in my car and cleanse them again when I bring, or actually before I bring them in my house, just simply because I do not want any of that funky energy in my house. I'm very, very particular about what I allow in my home. All right. Yes, giving things away is fabulous. It really helps to repurpose and re-energize your life as well as somebody else's. Now, one of the things also is that, you know, not just space clearing, but, and, you know, as I mentioned before, clutter clearing, but spring cleaning. This is huge. And as you're spring cleaning, as you're getting rid of all this stuff or repurposing it, what I do is I always cleanse the stuff before I drop it off to Goodwill or any type of thrift store. Just to, you know, clear any of my funky energy, because, you know, my energy is my energy and it might feel funky to somebody else. Or if they're allergic to animals, I have 3 pets. And so I always clear and try to neutralize absolutely everything that I give away before I give it away, just to help the other person that gets it. Let me see. Great point, John. Okay, so John, I'm so excited that he's on this video today. So he is one of my level 1 graduates, and he's also a level 2 student. He is one of my coaches that's training under me, and he said, great topic for restarting is acceptance. Just wondering if you could give a little insight about acceptance and non-resisting. This is really fabulous, John. This is probably one for a new video, but I'll throw it into this video too. Acceptance is huge. Now, look at why you want to start fresh. Look at what you want to start fresh. Look at really what you want to get rid of in your life and what you want to bring into your life. And look at the motivation behind it, because if the motivation is an outward motivation, oh, she lost 10 pounds, so I want to lose 10 pounds, or they have a new house, so I want a new house, more than likely your goals are going to fall short. But if you get into that intrinsic motivation of, I want to lose 10 pounds because I want to feel better in my body, okay, or I want to clean my kitchen because when I go into my kitchen and it's messy, I feel frustrated or I feel exhausted. Like for me, if my house is messy, ooh, it feels like a cactus. So I need to have a clutter-free space. And in looking at the motivation behind what it is that you want will help you to really look at really truly accepting that as a goal in your life, or really truly accepting that as something that you want in your life versus resisting it. Because many times people want to lose weight or they want to, you know, start a project or end a project or do something, but there's some type of resistance, well, sit with it and ask yourself, okay, why am I feeling resistance to this project or this thing or this person? And really sit with it and feel it. And I know sometimes feeling resistance isn't always the best thing, but you can learn so much about yourself. You can learn so much about other people and about the situation if you just sit with it and you say, I'm feeling resistance because I really don't want to freaking do this. Or I'm feeling resistance because when I think about this, it feels heavy. Okay, so why does it feel heavy? Is it because you think you need to do it in a certain way, or you think you need to do it in a way that somebody else is doing it, or you just don't know how to do it? If that's the case, ask somebody how to do something or how to approach something. Or even ask yourself, do I really want to do this? So look at the list of the things that you want to do this year and really ask yourself, do I really want to do this? If it's no, then scratch it off your list. You know, I've got one word for this year, and that's upgrade. And last year's word was be present. That was 2 words, but whatever. And so anything that I did, I'm like, am I fully present? And this year, I'm like, is this an upgrade for me and my life? If the answer is no, okay, why am I doing it? If it's not, if it is, okay, perfect. So really, and you know, that's one of the ways that can help you simplify, because I am a simplification coach. I try to make everything as simple as possible, but not simpler. So I always try to really fine tune each year into one word and really focus on that. If you don't want to do a whole year, you can just do, okay, what's my word for this month or this week? And for you, you know, Amber, you said that you're feeling bogged down. Look at that resistance. Look at the acceptance. Look at what energy is associated with you being bogged down. Is it just the energy of a job? Is it the energy of a relationship? Is it an energy of some person that maybe you have to have a conversation with, but you don't want to, and you're like, you know. So really sit with that energy of feeling bogged down, or the energies of that resistance and acceptance, and ask yourself, okay, what really is going on here? Why am I feeling bogged down? Why am I feeling this resistance? And how can I move to a place of getting clarity? Because once we get clarity, that's when you can really truly accept the next action. Okay, hold on for just a second. Tank wants to go outside. Okay, hurry up. Okay, you're scratching at the door. All right, so, where did I get this beautiful sound bell? I got the bell from KarenKingston.com. It's one of her professional space clearing bells. My smudging spray is 20 drops of lavender, lemongrass, and sage. So 20 drops each with just tap water. And I go through this probably in about 2 weeks. So we're going to be online for a few more minutes, and then we will. Incense gives you a headache, so you have a nice room. Yes. So, I mean, and any spray will work. It doesn't have to be sage. Like, I do not like clary sage. I like regular sage. Clary sage actually makes me feel energetically overwhelmed. It makes me feel like I'm going over the top, and I do not like clary sage. It does not resonate with me at all. Let me see. How can you stop the past from affecting your future? Fabulous question. Come to terms with it and really sit with the lessons, really sit with the blessings, and try to get into a place of gratitude. Try to get into that place of, you know what, this is what I learned. I learned this about myself. I learned this about the other person. And with that acceptance, with the knowledge, with the gratitude of, I'm so grateful that I went through that. Hopefully I will never have to go through that again. And that, in my opinion, will move you to a place of empowerment and move you to a place of, okay, let's do this. Now I can move forward knowing now what I know about myself and all these other people or the situation. Now I can hopefully move forward and not be affected by my past or not be affected by this particular situation. So, but really just sitting with it and really finding that level of gratitude of, okay, I went through this, it sucked, but you know what? I learned from it. And try to really look at what you learned and how you learned it. And sometimes, you know, sometimes it sucks, but then other times you're like, yay, that's over. So yeah, let me see. Media clutter, like email and even Facebook, don't forget about these. Absolutely. I was just cleaning out my email the other day and I got rid of a lot of emails. Facebook, I'm constantly clearing my Facebook pages of like my personal Facebook page of just pages that I never go to anymore or things that I don't want to see in my timeline. I'm constantly hiding political posts and whatnot. So electronic clutter does have to deal a lot with our energies, during this time of year especially. And yeah, Tara, I agree with you. Tara, she is a fabulous shop owner up in Canada. I believe your store is it Dragon Moon something? Tara, please post the link to your fabulous store. If y'all want to go to a new age store, go to her store because it's freaking amazing. But anyway, I've known Tara for a long time and she said that yes, dragonmoon.ca. Everybody go there. Everybody get your fabulous new age stuff. It's awesome. Anyway, #1 store. She mentions that she stopped using Facebook for personal use in November and pretty much just uses it for business purposes. I absolutely agree. The only time that I'm usually on Facebook for personal use is late in the evening. And I'm on there during the day frequently for my groups. I have a lot of groups that I'm a part of for my membership site and for all the classes that I'm a part of or that I teach and host. So I'm usually in there interacting with the clients, with our students, and just really getting in there and then also posting things on my business page as well. But yeah, I really limit my personal Facebook use time as well. So that's all for this time. We are a little bit over 20 minutes. So I hope you all have a fabulous, fabulous rest of your week and rest of your day. And if you have a question for this Ask Flora segment, please email me, flora@florasage.com, and I would be happy to answer your question here on an Ask Flora live segment or a pre-taped segment for you. So, and if you've really loved this episode and you think that somebody else in your circle will find value in it, please like and share this video with them. And if you've really loved it and you don't want to miss an episode, pop on over to my YouTube channel, username Flora Peterson, or if you just Google Flora Sage YouTube, you will find it there. And go ahead and subscribe and also share that page with all of your friends that you think might find value in it. All right, I hope you all have a fabulous rest of your evening and I will speak with you all soon. Mwah! Bye-bye.